Hey guys, Patrick Wind here and welcome to this training model in which I'm going to show you how you can work with Ad IDs in order to collect all the social proof that you have already gathered up front on another ad. So, have you ever wondered how big companies can really create ads where they can collect more than several thousands of likes and comments and shares? Well, that's exactly the reason how they do it. They work with Ad IDs, so they do not create new ads for every single audience, but they rather create one ad and then use the ID, so the identification number of this specific ad, and then they connect all the different audiences to this specific ad. And now I'm going to show you how we can actually do that. If we, for example, use an existing campaign, we use our prize winning campaign, which is a conversion campaign. Here we could use one of the ad sets that we have created already, for example the all placement one. And now, instead of creating a new ad where we of course start with 0 likes, 0 comments and 0 shares, we could use an existing post. Okay, and in this existing post we could either select one from our page where we can already collect the social proof that we have received up front, so this engagement, but this is of course only limited to all the posts that we have done on our Facebook page. But what about all the ads that we run? Okay, so what about all the ads that have received already a lot of engagement, and what's the best way to really get also their social engagement? And it's also much faster because you do not have to create everything from scratch. You can simply save the IDs of these ads and then put it here. So where it says enter post ID, here you simply have to put in an identification number and then you can submit and it will pop up here. So that's good in theory, but in practice it's a little bit more difficult, because where can we really find those identification numbers? In theory you would you would think that it would be just the number that shows up on ad level. So for example, if we take this carousel here, just one random carousel that we have already created up front, and here it shows an ID, but it's never the number that we find here on ad level. Okay, it's actually a little bit hidden. The best way to find it is if you click here on previews, then you click on see post, Facebook post with comments, and then here in the URL you have 2 different identification numbers, first one and the last one, and the last one, that is what matters to us. Okay, so we want to copy this number that we can then use here, submit. And now it takes exactly the carousel that we have already created up front and that we can use now in a new ad. So for example, if you would be more interested in this specific carousel, well, we could also, even without going into edit, that's of course an option, but you don't have to go in here. You could also just click on preview. It's nice. And then you click Facebook post with comments. And then you take the ID number from here and you simply substitute it with the old one, and you see that now another kind of ad can be displayed, and it shows you all the social proof that we have gathered up front. So this specific one, for example, has received 3 shares, 1 comment and 3 likes. So we could already start with those 3 likes, 1 comment and 3 shares. And this is of course a very smart strategy to really start your ads not from 0, but with some social engagement already up front. And now we could do this all day long. We could select all the ads that we want from here and then select them here as a post ID. So let's save this one in order to see how it actually looks like in reality. So let's save this one as existing post number 1, and we can also select an Instagram page, which is interesting because it is a post that we have realized on our Facebook page. Well, not on our Facebook page, in one of our ads, and therefore we could use it either on Facebook or on Instagram if we work with the ID. And now we can also take a look at the preview, and there is one interesting information I would like to share with you, because unfortunately this social proof it's of course amazing that we can collect it, but we can only collect it for Facebook. Okay, so this new ad that we have just created based on an existing post already from the very first moment on starts with some engagement. It already starts with these 3 likes, 1 comment and 3 shares. Desktop newsfeed, it also has collected all of this engagement, so 3 likes, 1 comment and 3 shares. However, unfortunately, this is not translated into Instagram feed. I mean, this specific one is not even possible to use because it uses the featured products. But if we use, for example, one of the other ones, for example, this standard carousel, you're gonna see that we can definitely also use it in Instagram, okay? But the social proof is not gonna be translated into Instagram. So even though this one has already received a certain number of likes and comments and shares, on Instagram it will not be displayed because there are 2 different worlds when it comes to the engagement. So the engagement rate from Facebook is not going to be translated to Instagram here. However, it is still a very nice way to maintain the social proof that we have already gathered on Facebook, and it will allow us to not start from scratch when it comes to likes, comments and shares for our ads, and it will be a very powerful strategy in order to have thousands and thousands of likes on our ads. So guys, thank you very much for listening, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next videos. Goodbye.